individuals who don't have an issue getting a flu shot in late October or November, why don't you get it then so that it's going to be maximally protected? And I think I think people are able to understand that message. And I think what ends up happening with much during this pandemic is that one-size-fits-all messages sort of supplant any kind of nuanced messaging, and then you end up being accused of not actually understanding the science. And we've known for years that flu shots should not be given too early. And if you can have scheduling flexibility, schedule it closer to the onset of the flu season. But a lot of that has kind of gone out the window because they're trying to really promote boosters, and this is another way to promote boosters because they know people are going to be getting flu shots, so why not get them their COVID booster at the same time and just bundle the whole thing, which I think really ignores what we know. But again, if you're somebody that can't do it anytime but now, then go do it now.
Thanks for breaking that down for us, because so often, we have and it doesn't always fit into a soundbite. One of my coworkers recently got the new booster and has been feeling terrible, as well as experiencing the pain in both arms and the chest. Is this an unusual reaction?
Some people, when they get any kind of COVID-19 vaccination, do get pretty aggressive symptoms of aches and pains and not feeling well. I guess it would be important to know, did this person experience that with their prior vaccinations or boosters? And I think this isn't typical. Most people do have some side effects, but it's usually manageable, and they're able to sort of go about their activities of daily living.
We are on the KCBS Ring Central Newsline with Dr. Amish Adalja, Senior Scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. And if you have a question you'd like answered, please email us at askus@kcbsradio.com. And Dr. Adalja, if we could just have you hold on for a couple of minutes, we're going to check the traffic, and right after traffic, we'll get back to some listener questions. Where are we heading to now, Dave Fox?
Well, we're going to start in Modesto, northbound 99 near Hatch Road. We've got a crash where a big rig spilled a load of glass in all lanes. We've got miles of backed up traffic northbound 99 all the way into Keys. If you have the ability way over to I-5, it will save you a lot of time. Better news, eastbound 80 before San Pablo Dam Road, overturned, big rig, all lanes finally clear. Traffic is recovering. Where it's not recovering, westbound on the Richmond-Santa Fe Bridge, a stalled big rig in the right lane has traffic backed up all the way to Harbor. For more, follow us on Twitter at KCBS. Traffic, your next traffic update, 9:38 on the Traffic Leader, KCBS.
The KCBS Bay Area forecast, sunny and mild today after morning clouds, highs in the 60s and by the Bay and the 70s and lower 80s inland. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
And we are headed back to Ask an Expert. We're joined on the KCBS Ring Central Newsline by Dr. Amish Adalja, Senior Scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. We do have a listener question. Doctor, I'm triple boosted. I'm not testing positive for COVID, but I'm experiencing symptoms that I've heard could be long COVID. Is there a test I could take to see if I have ever been infected with COVID?
There's really not an easy way to tell if someone has had COVID in the past or wasn't diagnosed, other than to do an antibody test. And it looks for a specific part of the antibody directed to a specific part of the virus that's not covered by the vaccine. If that's positive, it gives you some indication that you were infected in the past. But if it's negative, you don't know if it's kind of faded away with time, and some people who've been vaccinated don't form good antibodies against the other parts of the virus. The best thing is, you could get a test like that. It may help you, but if it's positive, but if it's negative, it doesn't really completely help you. But if you many areas do have long COVID type clinics where they may do more sophisticated testing to understand what's causing your symptoms.
Are the means of contracting COVID different from the flu? I mean, now that we know COVID isn't easily transmitted on surfaces and many places are less likely to sanitize surfaces, but should we keep doing that?
The primary mechanisms by which they're transmitted are the same. Flu may have a little bit more of an advantage with surfaces than COVID-19 has, but I think keeping surfaces to to a reasonable degree, is not just going to stop COVID and flu, but also other respiratory viruses, other bacteria that may cause infections as well. So I think in general, sanitation is good, but I don't think we should get overboard to the point where people are washing their groceries or washing their mail. That was a little bit crazy, if you ask.
Should we be upping up our mask game, given that we've got this triple threat of COVID, cold, and flu?
It all depends on each person's risk tolerance. We know that masks work, but not everybody may want to wear masks in certain situations. High-risk people in crowded, congregated places will likely get some benefit. But I think individually, masks are going to have to be something we consider, depending upon how much we're trying to avoid getting sick, and that's not going to be one size fits all.
And is this true for our KN95, KF94 masks? Should we be going full out, or even just the thinner masks okay for colds?
I think that the more protection you have, the less likely you are to get any of those types of viruses. But again, it's not something that you can kind of prescribe to every person, because each person has to think about what they want to do and what they don't want to do, and how much it's worth it to them to prevent maybe what could be a mild illness. And I think we'll probably see more mask wearing culturally post-pandemic than before, maybe similar to what we see in some of the Asian countries where mask wearing was more common even before the pandemic. But I think, again, it's not going to be something that everybody does. It's a tool that people can use depending upon their own preferences.
Listener question: are free at-home available to seniors with Medicare?
I think that's a little bit of a technical question. I think insurance companies are able to individuals who buy those tests. I would check with your insurance company in your Medicare plan to know that for sure. But in general, the policy, there is some carve out for home tests that are bought for insurance reimbursement, but it may vary from plan to plan. So I don't have the technical details to be able to give you a definitive answer.
Okay, thanks for that. Should relatively young and healthy people be getting the bivalent booster?
This is an area where I differ with the administration. Boosters are best given to those who are going to benefit maximally from those, and that is high-risk individuals, people that are above the age of 65, people with diabetes, obesity, hypertension, asthma, any of those diseases that we consider high risk. That's where we see a strong benefit in protection against severe disease. I don't know that these new boosters are going to prevent infection for a durable period of time in low-risk individuals. So I think that when it comes to younger individuals being matter, severe illness, hospitalization, and death, and none of the boosters have really had a durable or major impact above that, and they've all been transient. I've always thought that boosting healthy people to transiently prevent mild illness isn't really a strategy. I think to get better protection in the younger group, we need better vaccines, universal vaccines that are given in the nose that give you more protection against immunity. So I think the absolute priority has to be vaccinating high-risk individuals and making sure they're boosters, especially those high-risk people who have never been boosted.
And I'm curious, when you say young,
minimally benefit from them unless they have some high-risk condition. Above 58, that's kind of again, it's kind of dependent on health status of individuals, and high-risk conditions are really what's going to trump everything. If someone is diabetic and 33, they need to be getting the booster.
And we seem to have some colds going around here in the Bay Area, so we're getting some questions about colds. Does having a cold recently make you more or less at risk of getting COVID?
There's not any strong. There is some hypotheses that when you're recovering from a cold, your immune system is revved up and it might prevent other viruses from being able to infect you because there's some non-specific immunity going on. None of that has really been completely established, so it's not something to count on one way or the other.
And how about home treatments for a common cold? Can you recommend some? And those treatments, are they different for the flu or
I think for flu, you have to think about antiviral treatment like Tamiflu or Xofluza. So you should talk to your doctor about getting those treatments. And for COVID, if you're high risk, you should be thinking about Paxlovid or monoclonal antibodies. For the over-the-counter symptomatic type of stuff, products like NyQuil or DayQuil or their equivalent, things with Tylenol, ibuprofen, to relieve the symptoms and cough and the congestion. All of those work fine. There's some mixed data for common colds and zinc, but really I think it's mostly about symptomatic treatment using, like I said, what I use are the DayQuil or NyQuil are the generic equivalents that I find if I have a cold.
Thank you so much for your insight and your expertise. We've been joined on the KCBS Ring Central Newsline by Dr. Amish Adalja, Senior Scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. KCBS News Time is 9:36. Stay close. We'll be checking traffic in 2 minutes with Dave Fowkes.
Disruption to routine can be all that it takes to throw off your ability to get a good night's sleep. So with back to school, that can throw off your body clock. Now the Sleep Number 360 smart bed gives you custom comfort and valuable feedback too. I love ours. My sleep IQ score last night was 86. You know, sleepers who use their 360 smart bed technology enjoy 28 minutes of more restful sleep per night. That's up to 170 hours per year. So don't miss Sleep Number's weekend special. Save 30% on the Sleep Number 360's special edition smart bed plus financing and free home delivery if you're out of date. That's Monday, October 3rd, only at Sleep Number stores or sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the National Football League. Subject to credit approval, minimum required. See sleepnumber.com for details. Sleep Number stores are open in Dublin, San Ramon Road at Dublin Boulevard next to Starbucks, and in Brentwood next to BJ's Restaurant and Starbucks. Tell them Kim Wonderly sent you.
Memories in your outdoor spaces all year long with System Pavers, the leaders in outdoor living. Outdoor kitchens, all the way to incredible, gorgeous outdoor turf and more. System Pavers is ready to make you fall in love with your home all over again. Since 1992, System Pavers has helped more than 75,000 homeowners make the most of their front backyards through beautiful, durable, and quality outdoor. And you can be next. For a limited time only, to celebrate our 30th anniversary, you can get the incredible savings of $3 off every square foot of pavers and turf. Plus, special financing is available. Fall is outdoor gatherings, whether it's a meal on the patio, hosting around the fire pit, or however you want to enjoy your incredible new living space, start today with System Pavers free consultation. Get started by calling 800-PAVE-004 or visit SystemPavers.com. That's 800-PAVE-004 or SystemPavers.com. All orders must be placed by October 31st. Financing subject to credit approval. See website for details. Contractor's license 661-575.
Cars for Kids. Never worry about dealing with your old car again. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS today or donate online at carsforkids.org for next day pickup. That's cars with a K.
We are headed back to the Richmond Bridge for this check of traffic. Traffic and weather together sponsored by balancepro.org. Here's Dave Fowkes from your local Honda Dealers Traffic Center.
Just a huge delay trying to get to the Richmond-Santa Fe Bridge. It took Don of the KCBS phone force 40 minutes just to go. Mark. The reasons, well, there was an earlier crash, and now it's a stalled dump truck westbound on the span just before you get to the middle of the bridge. The right lane is blocked. Traffic, bumper to bumper, all the way from Harbor. Better news for the eastbound 80 drivers near San Pablo Dam Road. Overnight overturn. Big Rig has been cleared. Lanes are open. Traffic is recovering nice. The meter relay's on, just a brief delay there, and it's a little slow from the island getting into San Francisco. Southbound and some slow traffic from Union City down towards Stevenson in Fremont, and in Modesto northbound 99 at Hatch. Big Rig dropped a load of glass in all lanes. Traffic backed up several miles all the way from Keys Road. BC's on the Wishino. 415-391 KCBS. Your next traffic update 9:48 on the traffic leader KCBS.
The KCBS Bay Area. Sunny and mild today after morning clouds. Highs in the 60s and 70s coastline, 70s by the bay and inland. Cloudy with some patchy coastal fog tonight. Lows in the 50s. Tomorrow, cloudier at the coast, but mostly sunny by the bay and inland after those morning clouds. Highs just a few degrees warmer than today. 60s and 70s coastside, 70s by the bay and the mid-80s inland. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Are you worried you are going to lose your home? Foreclosure Prevention Team can help provide assistance and info to guide you to avoid default and foreclosure. Schedule an appointment at 1-888-777-7526 or visit balancepro.org.
Hi, I'm Kim Beth. And I'm here with local businessman Aaron, the founder of California Deluxe Windows, the premier company for custom fit windows and doors. Today we're talking windows, inflation, and potato chips.
Thank you for having